Hi, my name is Rebecca DeZita, and I am the Touring and Community Engagement Coordinator for National Players.
And I'm Jason King Jones, Artistic Director of National Players, and the director of this production from Tour 71 of As You Like It by William Shakespeare.
While the COVID-19 pandemic prevents us from finishing up our 71st tour, that doesn't stop us from wanting to bring theater to you.
It's been a privilege for the players to perform this play along with The Diary of Anne Frank and Walk Two Moons, and we're excited to release this recorded preview performance of As You Like It.
Making theater more accessible is part of National Players' mission. So to our presenters and audiences across the country, thank you, and this is for you.
Now, please enjoy the National Players Tour 71 performance of William Shakespeare's As You Like It.
I pray thee, Rosalind, sweet my coz, be merry.
Dear Celia, I show more mirth than I am mistress of. And would you yet I were merrier? Unless you could teach me to forget a banished father, you must not learn me how to remember any extraordinary pleasure.
As I remember, Adam, it was upon this fashion bequeathed me by will but pour 1,000 crowns, and as thou sayest, charged my brother on his blessing to breed me well. And there begins my sadness. My brother Jakes, he keeps at school, and report speaks goldenly of his prophet. For my part, he keeps me rustically at home, or to speak more properly, stays me here at home. His horses are bred better, but I, his brother, gain nothing under him but growth. He lets me feed with his hinds, bars me the place of a brother, and as much as in him lies, minds my gentility with my education. This is it, Adam, that grieves me.
Herein I see thou lovest me not with the full weight that I love thee. If thy father had banished my father, so thou hadst still been with me, I could have taught my love to take thy father for mine. So wouldst thou, if the truth of thy love to me were so righteously tempered as mine is to thee.
Well, I will forget the condition of my estates to rejoice in yours. Yonder comes my master, your brother.
Now, sir! What make you here?
Nothing. I'm not taught to make anything.
What mar you then, sir?
Marry, sir, I am helping you to mar that which God made, a poor unworthy brother of yours, with idleness.
Know you where you are, sir?
Oh, very well, sir, here, in your orchard.
Know you before whom, sir?
I better than him I am before knows me. I know you are my eldest brother, and in the gentle condition of blood, you should so know me. The courtesy of nations allows you my better in that you are the firstborn. But the same tradition takes not away my blood, where there are 20 brothers betwixt us. I have as much of my father in me as you. Albeit I confess your coming before me is nearer to his reverence.
What, boy?
Come, come, elder brother, you are too young in this.
Dost thou lay hands on me, villain?
I am no villain! I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys. He was my father, and he is thrice the villain that says such a father begot villains. Wert thou not my brother, I would not take this hand from thy throat till this other had pulled up thy tongue for saying so. Thou hast railed on thyself.
Sweet masters, be patient. For your father's remembrance, be at accord.
You know my father hath no child but I, nor none is like to have. And truly, when he dies, thou shalt be his heir. For what he hath taken away from thy father perforce, I will render thee again in affection. By mine honor, I will. And when I break that oath, let me turn monster.
Let me go, I say!
I will not, till I please. You shall hear me. My father charged you in his will to give me good education. You have trained me like a peasant, obscuring and hiding from me all gentlemanlike qualities. The spirit of my father grows strong in me, and I will no longer endure it. Therefore, allow me such exercises as may become a gentleman. or give me the poor allowance my father left me by testament. With that, I will go buy my fortune.
And what wilt thou do? Beg when that is spent? Well, sir, get you in. I will not long be troubled with you. You shall have some part of your will. I pray you, leave me.
I will no further offend you than becomes me for my good.
Get you with him, you old dog.
Is old dog my reward? Most true. I have lost my teeth in your service. But God be with my old master. He would not have spoke such a word.
Is it even so? Begin you to grow upon me? I will physic your rankness, and yet give no 1,000 crowns neither.
Therefore, my sweet Rose, my dear Rose, be merry.
From henceforth, I will, cuz, and devise sports.
Good morrow to your worship!
Monsieur Charles, what's the new news at the new court?
There's no news at the court, sir, but the old news. That is, the old duke is banished by the new duke, his younger brother, and 3 or 4 loving lords have put themselves into voluntary exile with him, whose lands and revenues enrich the new duke. Therefore, he gives them good leave to wander.
Can you tell if Rosalind, the duke's daughter, be banished with her father?
Oh, no. For the duke's daughter, her cousin so loves her, being ever from their cradles bred together, that she would have followed her exile or have died to stay behind her. She is at the court.
Where will the old duke live?
They say he is already in the forest of Arden, and a many merry men with him, and they fleet the time like the old Robin Hood of England. They say many young gentlemen flock to him every day and fleet the time carelessly as they did in the golden world.
What, you wrestle tomorrow before the new duke?
Marry, do I, sir? And I came to acquaint you with a matter. I am given, sir, secretly to understand that your younger brother Orlando hath a disposition to come in disguised against me to try a fall. Tomorrow, sir, I wrestle for my credit, and he that escapes me without some broken limb shall acquit him well. For your love, I would be loath to foil him, as I must, for my own honor.
Charles, I thank thee for thy love to me, which thou shalt find I will most kindly requite. I had myself notice of my brother's purpose here, and I'll tell thee, Charles, it is the stubbornest young fellow of France, full of ambition, a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. I had as lief thou didst break his neck as his finger, and thou wert best so too. For if thou dost him any slight disgrace, or if he do not mightily grace himself on thee, he will practice against thee by poison, entrap thee with some treacherous device, and never leave thee till he hath ta'en thy life by some indirect means or other, for I assure thee, and almost with tears I speak it, there is not one so young and so villainous this day living. I speak but brotherly of him.
I am heartily glad I came hither to you. If he come tomorrow, I will give him his payment.
Farewell, good Charles. Now will I stir this gamester. I hope I shall see an end of him, for my soul, I know not why, hates nothing more than he.
Let me see. What think you of falling in love?
Marry, I prithee do, to make sport withal, but love no man in good earnest, nor no further in sport than with safety of pure blush thou mayest in honor come off again.
What shall be our sport then?
Let us sit and mock the good housewife fortune from her wheel, that our gifts may henceforth be bestowed equally.
I would we could do so, for her benefits are mightily misplaced, and the bountiful blind woman doth most mistake in her gifts to women.
'Tis true, for those that she makes fair, she makes honest, and those that she makes honest, she makes very ill-favoredly.
Nay, now thou goest from fortune's office to nature's. Fortune reigns in the gifts of the world, not in the lineaments of nature.
No, when nature hath made a fair creature, may she not by fortune fall into the fire? Though nature hath given us wit to flatter at fortune, hath not fortune brought in this fool to cut off the argument? How now, wit, whither wandered you?
Mistress, you must come away to your father.
Were you made the messenger?
No, By mine honor, but I was bid to come for you.
Where learned you that, oh fool?
Oh, of a certain knight who swore by his honor that they were good pancakes, and swore by his honor that the mustard was not. Yet all stand to it. The pancakes were not, and the mustard was good. Yet was not this knight forsworn.
How prove you that in the great heap of your knowledge?
Aye, marry now, unmuzzle your wisdom.
Stand ye both forth now. Stroke your chins, and swear by your beards that I am a knave.
By our beards, if we had them, thou art.
By my knavery, if I had it, then I were. But if you swear by that is not, then you are not forsworn. No more was this knight swearing by his honor, for he never had any. Or, if he had sworn it away before he ever saw those pancakes or that mustard.
Prithee, who is it that thou meanest?
One that old Frederick, your father, loves.
My father's love is enough to honor him. Enough. Speak no more of him. You'll be whipped for taxation one of these days.
The more pity, that fools may not speak wisely what wise men do foolishly.
By my troth, thou speakest true. For since the little wit that fools have was silenced, the little foolery that wise men have makes a great show. Here comes Monsieur Lebeau,
With his mouth full of news.
which he will put on us as pigeons feed their young.
Then shall we be news crammed?
How now, Monsieur Lebeau, what's the news?
Fair princess, you have lost much good sport.
Sport? Of what color?
What color, madam? How shall I answer you?
As wit and fortune will.
Or as the destinies decree.
Well said. That was laid on with a trowel.
Nay, if I keep not my rank,
Thou losest thy old smell.
You amaze me, ladies. I would have told you of good wrestling, which you have lost the sight of.
You tell us the manner of the wrestling.
I'll tell you the beginning, and if it pleases your ladyships, you may see the end, for the best is yet to do.
Shall we see this wrestling, cousin?
You must, if you stay here, for here is the place appointed for the wrestling. And they are ready to perform it.
Yonder, sure. They're coming.
Come on, since the youth will not be entreated his own peril on his forwardness.
Is yonder the man?
Even he, madam.
Alas, he is too young. Yet he looks successful.
Well, how now, daughter, cousin? Are you crept hither to see the wrestling?
Aye, my liege. So please you give us leave.
Well, you will take little delight in it, I can tell you. There are such odds in the man. In the pity of the challenger's youth, I would fain dissuade him, but he will not be entreated. Speak with him, ladies. See if you can move him.
Call him hither, good Monsieur Lebeau.
Do so. I'll not be by.
Monsieur the Challenger, the princesses call for you.
I attend them with all respect and duty.
Young man, have you challenged Charles the wrestler?
No, fair princess. He is the general challenger. I come but in, as others do, to try with him the strength of my youth.
Young gentlemen, your spirits are too bold for your years. You have seen cruel proof of this man's strength. We pray you, for your own sake, to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt.
Do, young sir. Your reputation shall therefore not be misprized. We will make it our suit to the Duke that the wrestling might not go forward.
I beseech you, punish me not with your hard thoughts, wherein I confess me much guilty to deny so fair and excellent ladies anything. But let your fair eyes and gentle wishes go with me to my trial, wherein if I be foiled, there is but one shamed that was never gracious. If one killed, but one dead that was willing to be so. I shall do my friends no wrong, for I have none to lament me. The world no injury, for in it I have nothing. Only in the world I fill up a place, which may be better supplied when I have made it empty.
The little strength that I have, I would it were with you.
And mine, to eke out hers.
Where is this young gallant that is so desirous to lie with his mother earth?
Ready, sir, but his will hath in it a more modest working.
You shall try but one fall.
No, I warrant your grace, you shall not entreat him to a second, that hath so mightily persuaded him from a first.
And you mean to mock me after? You should not have mocked me before, but come your ways.
Bear him away. What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, my liege, the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys.
I would thou hadst told me of another father. The world esteemed thy father honorable, but I did find him still mine enemy. Thou shouldst have better pleased me with this deed. Hast thou descended from another house? But fare thee well. Thou art a gallant youth. I would thou hadst been son to some man else.
Were I my father, cuz, would I do this?
I am more proud to be Sir Roland's son, his youngest son, and would not change that calling to be adopted heir to Frederick.
My father loved Sir Roland as his soul, and all the world was of my father's mind. Had I before known this young man his son, I should have given him tears unto entreaty ere he should thus have ventured.
Gentle cousin, let us go thank him and encourage him. My father's rough and envious disposition sticks me at heart. Sir, you have well deserved. If you do keep your promises in love, but justly as you have exceeded all promise, your mistress shall be happy.
Gentlemen, wear this for me. One out of suits with fortune that could give more, but that her hand lacks means. Shall we go, cuz?
Aye. Fare you well, fair gentlemen.
Can I not say I thank you? Ugh. My better parts are all thrown down, and that which here stands up is but a quintain, a mere lifeless block.
He calls us back. My pride fell with my fortunes. I'll ask him what he would. Did you call, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, you have wrestled well and overthrown more than your enemies.
Will you go, cuz?
Have with you. Fare you well.
What passion hangs these weights upon my tongue? I cannot speak to her, yet she urged conference. Oh, poor Orlando, thou art overthrown, or Charles or something weaker masters thee.
Good sir, I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place. Albeit you have deserved high commendation, true applause and love. Yet such is now the Duke's condition that he misconstrues all that you have done. The Duke is humorous. What he is indeed more suits you to conceive than I to speak of.
I thank you. But pray you, tell me this. Which of the two was daughter of the Duke that here was at the wrestling?
Neither is daughter if we judge by manners. Yet indeed the lesser is his daughter, The other is the daughter of the banished duke, and here detained by her usurping uncle to keep his daughter company, whose loves are dearer than the natural bond of sisters. But I can tell you that of late, this duke hath taken displeasure against his gentle niece, grounded upon no other argument but that the people praise her for her virtues and pity her for her good father's sake. And on my life, his malice against the lady will suddenly break forth. Sir, fare you well. Hereafter, in a better world than this, I shall desire more love and knowledge of you.
I rest much bounden to you, and fare you well. Thus must I, from the smoke into the smother, from a tyrant duke into a tyrant brother, but heavenly Rosalind.
Cousin! My Rosalind! Cupid have mercy! Not a word?
Not one to throw at a dog.
No, thy words are too precious to be cast away upon curs. Throw some of them at me. Come, lame me with reasons.
Then there were two cousins laid up, when the one should be lamed with reasons and the other mad without any.
But is all this for your father?
No. Some of it is for my child's father. Oh, how full of briars is this working day world!
Come, wrestle with thy affection.
Oh, they take the part of a better wrestler than myself. Look, here comes the Duke.
His eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste and get you from our court.
Me, uncle?
You, cousin, within these 10 days, if thou beest found so near our public court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace. Let me the knowledge of my fault bear with me. Never so much as in a thought unborn did I offend your highness.
Thus do all traitors. If their purgation did consist in words, they are as innocent as grace itself. Let it suffice thee, that I trust thee not.
Yet your mistrust cannot make me a traitor. Tell me whereon the likelihood depends.
Thou art thy father's daughter. There's enough.
So was I when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord, or if we did derive it from our friends, what's that to me? My father was no traitor. Then, good my liege, mistake me not so much to think my poverty is treacherous.
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
Aye, Celia. We stayed her for your sake, else with her father she ranged along.
I did not then entreat to have her stay. It was your pleasure and your own remorse. I was too young that time to value her, but now I know her. If she be a traitor, why so am I. We still have slept together, rose at an instant, learned, played, eat together, and wheresoever we went, like Juno's swans, still we went coupled and inseparable.
She is too subtle for thee. Her silence, her patience, her very smoothness speak to the people, and they pity her. Thou art a fool. She robs thee of thy name, and that will seem more right, and show more virtuous when she is gone. Then open not thy lips. Firm and irrevocable is my doom, which I have passed upon her. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool. You, niece, provide yourself. If you outstay your time, upon mine honor, and in the greatness of my word, you die.
Oh, my poor Rosalind. Whither wilt thou go? Wilt thou change fathers? I will give thee mine. I charge thee, be not thou more grieved than I am.
I have more cause.
Thou hast not, cousin. Prithee, be cheerful. Knowest thou not, the Duke hath banished me, his daughter?
That he hath not.
No, hath not. Rosalind then lacks a love which teacheth thee that thou and I am one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part, sweet girl? No. Let my father seek another heir. Therefore, devise with me how we may fly, whither to go and what to bear with us. And do not seek to take your change upon you, to bear your griefs yourself and leave me out. For by this heaven, and our sorrows pale, say what thou canst, I'll go along with thee.
Why, whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger will it be to us, maids as we are, to travel forth so far? Beauty provoketh thieves sooner than gold.
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire, the like to you. So shall we pass along and never stir assailants.
Were it not better, because that I am more than common tall, that I did suit me all points as a man?
Well, what shall I call you when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse a name than Jove's own age, and therefore look you call me Ganymede. But what will you be called?
Something that hath a reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Eliana.
Cousin, what if we essayed to steal that clownish fool out of your father's court? Would he not be a comfort to our travel?
Oh, he'll go along o'er the wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo him. Let's away, and get our jewels and our wealth together. Devise the fittest time and safest way to hide us from pursuit that will be made after my flight. Now, go we in content to liberty and not to banishment.
Who's there?
What? My young master? Oh, my sweet master. Oh, my gentle master. Oh, you memory of old Sir Roland. Why, what make you here? Your praises come too swiftly home before you. Oh, what a world is this one. What is comely envenoms him that bears it.
Why, what's the matter?
Oh, unhappy youth. Come not within these doors. Within this roof, the enemy of all your graces lives. Your brother. No brother. Yet the son. Yet not the son. I will not call him son of him I was about to call his father. Have heard your praises, and this night he means to burn the lodging where you used to lie, and you within it. If he fail at that, he will have other means to cut you off. I overheard him in his practices. This is no place. This house is but a butchery. Abhor it, fear it, do not enter it.
Why, whither, Adam, wouldst thou have me go?
No matter whither, so you come not here.
What, wouldst thou have me go and beg my food? Or with a base and boisterous sword enforce a thievish living on the common road? This I will not do. Yet do how I can. I rather will subject me to the malice of a diverted blood and bloody brother.
But do not so. I have 500 crowns. The thrifty hire I saved under your father, which I did store to be my foster nurse when service should in my old limbs lie lame and unregarded age in corners thrown. Be comfort to my age. Here is the gold, and all this I give you, and let me be your servant.
Oh, good old man. How well in thee appears the constant service of the antique world. When service sweat for meed, not for duty. Service, sweat for duty, not for me. Thou art not for the fashion of these times, where none would sweat before promotion. But come thy ways, we'll go along together. And ere we have thy youthful wages spent, we'll light upon some settled low content.
Oh, master. Go on, and I will follow thee to the last gasp with truth and loyalty.
Got your hunting cap on, you're up at dawn with me. But we don't shoot at deer, we just sit right here and sing. We've been up all night and our eyes are tired, but there's light enough to see. So if I leave right now, will you come with me? Got this sadness creeping like vines over me. I didn't get what I want, so I just took what wanted me. I was making bad bets when the odds look good. You gotta play the hand you see. So if I leave right now, you come with me. If I leave right now, will you come with me? I swear I could leave right now, leave right now, leave right now, leave right now.
my co-mates and brothers in exile, hath not this life been made more sweet than that of painted pomp? Are not these woods more free from peril than that of the envious court? Here feel we but the penalty of Adam. The season's difference is the icy fang and churlish chiding of winter's wind, which even when it bites and blows upon my body, till I shrink with cold, I smile and say, this is no flattery. These are counselors that feelingly persuade me what I am. Oh, sweet are the uses of adversity, which like a toad, ugly and venomous, yet wears a precious jewel in his head. And this, our life, exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. I would not change it.
Happy is thy grace that can translate the stubbornness of fortune into so quiet and so sweet a style.
Well, come, let us go kill us some venison. And yet it irks me. These poor, dappled fools, being native burghers of this desert city, should in their own confines with forked heads have their round haunches gored.
Indeed, my lord, the melancholy Jaques grieves at that. And in that kind swears you do more usurp than doth your brother that hath banished you. Today, my lord of Amiens and myself did steal behind her, as she lay along under an oak, whose antique roof peeps out upon the brook that brawls along this wood, to the which place a poor sequestered stag, that from the hunter's aim attain a hurt, did come to languish. And indeed, my lord, the wretched animal heaved forth such groans that their discharge did stretch its leathern coat almost to bursting, and the big round tears coursed one another down its innocent nose in piteous chase, and thus the hairy fool, much marked of the melancholy Jaques, stood on the extremest verge of the swift brook, augmenting it with tears.
But what said Jaques? Did she not moralize the spectacle?
Oh yes, into 1,000 similes. First, for his weeping into the needless stream. Poor dear, quoth she, thou makest a testament as worldlings do, giving thy sum of more to that which had too much. Then, being there alone, left and abandoned of his velvet friends, 'tis right, quoth she. Thus misery doth part the flux of company. Anon, a careless herd, full of the pasture, sweeps along by him, and never stays to greet him. Aye, quoth Jaques, sweep on, you fat and greasy citizens, 'tis just the fashion. Wherefore do you look upon this poor and broken bankrupt bear? And thus, most invectively, she pierceth through the body of the country city courtier of this our lives, swearing that we are mere usurpers, tyrants, and what's worse, to fright the animals and to kill them up in their assigned and native dwelling place.
And did you leave her in this contemplation?
We did, my lord, weeping and commenting upon the sobbing deer.
Show me the place. I will love to cope with her in these sullen fits, for then she is full of matter.
I'll bring you to her straight.
Oh, Jupiter! How weary are my spirits.
I care not for my spirits if my legs were not weary.
I could find in my heart to disgrace my man's apparel and to cry like a woman. But I must comfort the weaker vessel. His doublet and hose ought to show itself courageous to petticoat. Therefore, courage, good Ileana.
I pray you, bear with me. I cannot go no further.
For my part, I'd rather bear with you than bear you. Yet I should bear no cross if I did bear you, for I think you have no money in your purse.
Well, this is the forest of Arden.
Aye, now I am in Arden. The more fool I. When I was at home, I was in a better place. But travelers must be content.
Aye, be so, good Touchstone. Look you, who comes here? A young man and an old in solemn talk.
That is the way to make her scorn you
Oh,
still.
Corin, that thou knew'st how I do love her.
I partly guess, for I have loved ere now.
No, Corin, being old, thou canst not guess. Though in thy youth thou wast as true a lover as ever sighed upon a midnight pillow. But if thy love were ever like to mine, as sure I think did never man love so, how many actions, most ridiculous, hast thou been drawn to by thy fantasy?
into 1,000 that I have forgotten.
Oh, thou didst the ne'er love so heartily! If thou rememberedst not the slightest folly that ever love did make thee run into, thou hast not loved. Or, if thou hast not sat, as I do now, wearying thy hearer in thy mistress's praise, thou hast not loved. Or, if thou hast not broke from company abruptly, as my passion now makes me, thou hast not loved. Oh, Phoebe! Phoebe! Phoebe!
Alas, poor shepherd! Searching of thy wound, I have by hard adventure found mine own.
And I mine. I remember when I was in love. I broke my sword on a stone and bid him take that for coming a night to Jane's smile. I remember the kissing of her batlet and the cow's dugs that her pretty chapped hands had milked. Mwah, mwah. I remember the wooing of a peas cod instead of her, from whom I took 2 cods and giving her them again, said with weeping tears, "Wear these for my sake." Ugh. We who are true lovers run into strange capers, but as all is mortal in nature, so all nature in love, mortal in folly.
Thou speakest wiser than thou art ware of.
Nay, I shall never beware my own wit until I break my shins against it.
Jove! Jove! This shepherd's passion is much upon my fashion.
And mine, but it grows something stale with me.
I pray you, one of you question yon man if he for gold will give us any food. I faint almost to death.
Hola, you clown!
Peace, fool! He is not thy kinsman.
Who calls?
Your betters, sir.
Else are they very wretched?
Peace, I say. Good even to you, friend.
Good even to you, sir, and to you all.
I prithee, shepherd, if that love or gold can in this desert place buy entertainment, bring us where we may rest ourselves and feed. Here's a young maid with travel much oppressed and faints for succor.
Fair sir, I pity her, and wish for her sake more than for mine own my fortunes were more able to relieve her. But I am shepherd to another man, and do not share the fleeces that I graze. My master is of churlish disposition, and little recks to find the way to heaven by doing deeds of hospitality. Besides, his coats, his blocks, and pounds of feed are now on sale. And at our sheepcote now, by reason of his absence, there is nothing that you will feed on. But what is, come see, and in my voice most welcome shall you be.
What is he that shall buy his flock and pasture?
That young swain you saw here but ere while, that little cares for buying anything.
I prithee, if it stand with honesty, buy thou the cottage pasture and the flock, and thou shalt have to pay for it of us.
And we will mend thy wages. I like this place, and could willingly waste my time in it.
Assuredly the thing is to be sold. Hey, go with me, if you like upon report the soil, the profit, and this kind of life, I will your very faithful feeder be, and buy it with your gold right suddenly.
Well, if I ever see the morning just like a lizard in the spring, I'm gonna run out in the meadow to catch the silence when it sings. I'm gonna force the Serengeti to disappear into my eyes. And when I hear your voices calling, I'm gonna turn just inside out. Well, if I ever get to slumber, just like a mole deep in the ground, hell, I won't be found.
More, I prithee, more.
It will make you melancholy, Madam Jaques.
I thank it. More, I prithee, more. I can suck melancholy out of a song as a weasel sucks eggs. More, I prithee, more.
My voice is ragged. I know I cannot please you.
Well, I do not desire you to please me. I do desire you to sing. Come, more, another stanza. Call you stanzas.
What you will, Madam J. Queens.
Nay, I care not for their names. They owe me nothing. Will you sing?
More at your request than to please myself.
And if ever I'll thank any man, I'll thank you. Come, sing. And you that will not, hold your tongues.
Well, I'll end the song. The Duke will drink under this tree. He hath been all this day to look you.
And I have been all this day to avoid him. He is too disputable for my company. I think of as many matters as he, but I give heaven thanks and make no boast of them. Come, warble, come!
Deep in the dust, forgotten, gathered, I grow a diamond in my chest. I make reflections as the moon shines on, turn to a villain as I rest. Well, if I ever get to slumber, just like a mole deep in the ground, well, I won't be found.
I'll give you this verse to a note I made yesterday, in despite of my invention.
And I'll sing it.
Thus it goes. If it do come to pass that any man turn ass, leaving his wealth and ease, a stubborn will to please, Duc-dame, 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 here shall be seen those fools as he.
What's that Duc-dame?
'Tis a Greek invocation to call fools into a circle. I'll go sleep if I can. If I can't, I'll rail against the firstborn of Egypt.
And I'll go seek the Duke. His banquet is prepared.
Oh. Oh. Sweet master, I can go no further. Oh, I die for food. Here lie I down and measure out my grave. Farewell, kind master.
Why, how now, Adam? No greater heart in thee. Live a little, comfort a little, cheer thyself a little. If this uncouth forest yield anything savage, I will either be food for it, or I will bring it for food to thee. For my sake, be comfortable. Hold death a while at the arm's end, and I will here be with thee presently. And if I bring thee not something to eat, I will give thee leave to die. But if thou diest before I come, well, thou art a mocker of my labor. Well said. Thou lookest cheerly, and I will be with thee quickly. Yet thou liest in the bleak air. Come, and I will bear thee to some shelter, and thou shalt not die for lack of a dinner. If there live anything in this desert, surely, good Adam.
I think she be transformed into a beast, for I can nowhere find her.
My lord, she is but even now gone hence.
Go, seek her out. Tell her I would speak with her.
She saves my labor by her own approach.
How now, madame? What life is this that your poor friends must woo your company? What, you look merrily.
A fool. A fool! I met a fool in the forest. A motley fool, a miserable world. As I do live by food, I met a fool who laid him down and basked him in the sun and railed on Lady Fortune in good terms. In good set terms, and yet a motley fool. Good morrow, fool, quoth I. No, friend, quoth he. Call me not fool till heaven hath sent me fortune. And then he drew a dial from his poke, and looking on it with lackluster eyes, says very wisely, "'Tis 10 o'clock. Thus we may see," quoth he, "how the world wags. 'Tis but an hour ago since it was 9, and 1 hour more 'twill be 11. And so, from hour to hour, we ripe, and then From hour to hour, we rot, and thereby hangs a tale. When I did hear that motley fool thus moral on the time, my lungs began to crow like chanticleer. That fools should be so deep contemplative, and I did laugh, sans intermission, an hour by his dial. Oh, worthy fool, oh, noble fool, motley's the only wear.
What fool is this?
Noble fool, one that hath been a courtier. Oh, that I were fool. I am ambitious for a motley coat.
Thou shalt have one.
It is my only suit, provided that you weed your better judgments of all opinion that grows rank in them, that I am wise. Now I must have liberty withal, as large a charter as the wind, to blow on whom I please, for so fools have. Invest me in my motley. Give me leave to speak my mind, and I will, through and through, cleanse the foul body of the infected world, if they will but patiently receive my medicine. But who comes here?
Forbear and eat no more.
Why, I have ate none yet.
Nor shalt not till necessity be served. He dies that touches any of this fruit till I and my affairs are answered.
Then if you are not answered with reason, I must die!
What would you have? Your gentleness shall force more than your force move us to gentleness.
I almost die for food. And let me have it!
Well, sit down and feed, and welcome to our table.
Speak you so gently. Pardon me, I pray you. I thought that all things had been savage here. Therefore put I on the countenance of stern commandment. But whate'er you are, that in this desert inaccessible, under the shade of melancholy boughs, lose and neglect the creeping hours of time. If ever you have looked on better days, if ever you have been where bells have knolled to church, if ever sat at any good man's feast, if ever from your eyelid wiped a tear and know what 'tis to pity and be pitied, let gentleness my strong enforcement be, in the which hope I blush and hide my sword.
True is it that we have seen better days, and have with holy bell been knolled to church, sat at good men's feasts, and wiped our eyes of sacred pity that hath engendered. Therefore sit you down in gentleness, and take upon command what help that we have that to your wanting may be ministered.
Then but forbear your food a little while. Whilst like a doe I go to find my fawn and give it food. There is an old poor man who after me hath many a weird step, limped in pure love, till he first be sufficed, oppressed with two weak evils, age and hunger. I will not touch a bit.
Go, seek him out. We will nothing waste till you return.
I thank you, and be blessed for your good comfort.
Thou seest that we are not all alone unhappy. This wide and universal theater presents more woeful pageants than the scene wherein we play in.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, and then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress, eyebrow. And then the soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good capen lined, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacle on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, the world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again towards childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all to end this strange, eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sends teeth, sends eyes, sends taste, sends everything.
Welcome. Set your venerable burden down and let him feed.
I thank you most for him.
So have you need. I can scarce speak to thank you for myself.
Welcome. Fall to. I will not trouble you as yet to question you of your fortune. Give us music, and good cousin, sing.
See the sleep that rests upon the light street we're standing on. Is it time to go away and try again another day? These are the words we use to say goodbye. These are the words we use to say goodbye.
Think that you were, good Sir Roland's son. As you have whispered faithfully, you were, and as my eyes doth his effigy's witness, was truly living and illuminated in your face. Be truly welcome hither. I am the Duke that loved your father. The residue of your fortune go to my cave and tell me, good old man, thou art right welcome as thy master is. Oh, support him by the arm.
Bones crack, curtains drawn, on my back she is gone. Somewhere else I do not know, time will tell and I will go. These are the words we use to say goodbye. These are the words we use to say goodbye.
Find out thy brother wheresoever he is. Seek him with candle, bring him dead or living to me within this 10th month. Return thou no more to seek living in our territory. Thy land and all things thou dost call thine with seizure do we seize into our hands.
Oh, that your highness knew my heart in this. I never loved my brother in my life.
Villain, thou!
I will wait and take a turn, sort it out, let it burn. Empty out, empty drawer, in my pocket there's nothing more. These are the words we use to say goodbye. These are the words we use to say goodbye.
Give me thy hand, and let me all your fortunes understand.
These are the words we use. Well, shake it up, baby, now. Twist
We were young and we were free and running.
Hang there my verse, in witness of my love. Oh, Rosalind! These trees shall be my books, and in their bark my thoughts I'll character, that every eye which in this forest looks shall see thy virtue witness everywhere. Run, run, Orlando, garb on every tree the fair, the chaste, the unexpressive she. Oh, you got this.
We're like one without you, I'm sinking. I'm always shining next to you. Oh.
And how like you this shepherd's life, Master Touchstone?
Truly, shepherd. In respect of itself, it is a good life, but in respect that it is a shepherd's life, it is not. In respect that it is private, I like it very well, but in respect that it is solitary, it is a very vile life. Now, in respect that it is in the fields, it pleaseth me well, but in respect that it is not in the court, it is tedious. As it is a spare life, look you, it fits my humor well, but as there is no more plenty in it, it goes much against my stomach. Hast any philosophy in thee, shepherd?
No more, but that I know the more one sickens, the worse at ease he is. And he that wants money, means, and content is without three good friends. That the property of water is to wet, and fire to burn, that good pasture makes fat sheep, and that a great cause of night is lack of the sun, that he that hath learned no wit nor art, by nature may complain of a good breeding, or comes of a very dull kindred.
Such one is a natural philosopher. Wast ever in court, shepherd?
No, truly.
Then thou art damned.
Nay, I hope.
Truly, thou art damned, like an ill-roasted egg, all on one side.
For not being at court. Your reason?
Why, if thou never wast at court, thou never sawest good manners. If thou never sawest good manners, thy manners must be wicked. And wickedness is sin, and sin is damnation. Thou art in a perilous state, shepherd.
Not a whit, Touchstone. Those that are good manners at the courts are as ridiculous in the country as the behavior of the country is most mockable at the court. You told me you salute not at the court, but you kiss your hands. That courtesy would be uncleanly if courtiers were shepherds.
Instance. Briefly, come, instance.
Why, we're still handling our ewes, and their fells are greasy.
Why, do not your courtiers' hands sweat? And is not the grease of a mutton as wholesome as the sweat of a man? Shallow, I say, a better instance, come.
Besides, our hands are hard.
Your lips will feel them the sooner. Shallow again, a more sounder instance, come.
And they are often tarred over with the surgery of our sheep. And would you have us kiss tar? The courtier's hands are perfumed with civet.
Most shallow man, thou worm's meat in respect of a good piece of flesh indeed. Learn of the wise and perpend. Civet is of a baser birth than tar, the very uncleanly flux of a cat. Mend the instance, shepherd.
You have too courtly a wit for me. I'll rest.
Wilt thou rest damned? God help thee, shallow man. God make incision in thee. Thou art raw.
Sir, I am a true laborer. I earn that I eat, get that I wear, owe no man hate, glad of other men's good, content with my harm, and the greatest of my pride is to see my ewes graze and my lambs suck.
That is another simple sin in you. To bring the ewes and the rams together and to offer to get your living by the copulation of cattle, to be bawd to a bellwether, and to betray a she-lamb of 12 months to a crooked-pated old cuckoldly ram out of all reasonable match. If thou beest not damned for this, the devil himself will have no shepherds. I cannot see how thou shouldest escape.
Here comes young Master Ganymede, my new mistress's brother.
From the east to western, ain't no jewels like Rosalind. Her work being mounted on the wind through all the well-bears of Rosalind. All the pictures, first line, all but black to Rosalind. Let no fear be kept in mind at the fair of Rosalind.
I will rhyme you so. 8 years together, winters and suppers and sleeping hours accepted.
Out, fool!
For a taste. All right. If a heart do lack a hind, let him seek out Rosaline. If a cat will after kind, then so be sure will Rosaline. Winter garments must be lined, so must slender Rosaline. They there eat must sheaf and bind, and then to cart with Rosaline. Oh, sweetest nut hath sourest rind, such a nut is Rosaline. He that sweetest rose will find, must find love's prick and Rosaline. Oh! This is a very false gallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Peace, you dull fool! I found them on a tree.
Truly, the tree yields bad fruit.
Peace, I say. Here comes my sister. Stand aside.
But upon the fairest bow, or every sentence end will I Rosalinda ride, teaching all that, read to know the quintessence of every sprite. Heaven will end, little shop, 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 shop.
Oh, most gentle pulpiter! What tedious homily of love have you wearied your parishioners withal?
How now? Back, friends. Shepherd, go off a little. Go with him, sir.
Come, shepherd, let us make an honorable retreat, though not with bag and baggage, yet with scrip and scrippage.
Didst thou hear these verses?
Oh, yes, I heard them all, and more too, for some of them had in them more feet than the verses would bear.
But didst thou hear without wondering how thy name should be hanged and carved upon these trees?
I was 7 of the 9 days out of the wonder before you came. For look here what I found on a palm tree. I was never so berhymed since Pythagoras' time.
True you, who hath done this?
Is it a man?
And a chain that you once wore about his neck? Change you color?
I prithee, who?
Oh, Lord!
Nay, but who is it?
Is it possible?
Nay, I prithee now with most petitionary vehemence, tell me who it is.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, and most wonderful, wonderful, and yet again, wonderful, and after that, out of all hoping.
I prithee, tell me who it is quickly and speak apace.
It is young Orlando that tripped up the wrestler's heels and your heart both in an instant.
Nay, but the devil take mocking. Speak, sad brow and true maid.
In faith, cause 'tis he.
Orlando?
Orlando!
Alas the day! What shall I do with my doublet and hose? What did he when thou sawest him? What said he? How looked he? Where met he? What makes him here? Did he ask for me? Where remains he? How parted he with thee? And when shalt thou see him again? Answer me in one word.
You must borrow me Gargantua's mouth first. 'Tis a word too great for any mouth of this age's size.
But doth he know I am in this forest and in man's apparel? Looks he as freshly as he did the day he wrestled?
I found him under a tree, like a dropped acorn.
It may well be called Jove's tree when it drops forth such fruit.
Give me audience, good madam.
Proceed.
There lay he, stretched along like a wounded knight.
Though it be pity to see such a sight, it well becomes the ground.
Cry hollow to thy tongue, it curveth unseasonably. He was furnished like a hunter.
Oh, ominous! He comes to kill my heart!
Soft! Comes he not here?
'Tis he. Slink by and note him.
I thank you for your company, but good faith, I had as lief have been myself alone.
And so had I. But yet for fashion's sake, I thank you too for your society.
God be with you. Let's meet as little as we can.
I do desire us be better strangers.
I pray you, mar no more trees with white writing love songs on their barks.
I pray you, mar no more of my verses with reading them ill-favoritely.
Rosalind is your love's name?
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
There was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
What stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
You're full of pretty answers. Will you sit down with me and we two can rail against our mistress the world and all our misery?
I will chide no breather in the world but myself, against whom I know most faults.
The worst fault you have is to be in love.
'Tis a fault I will not change for your best virtue. I am weary of you.
By my troth, I was seeking for a fool when I found you.
He is drowned in the brook. Look but in, and you shall see him.
There I shall see mine own figure. Oh. Farewell, good Signor Love.
I am glad of your departure. So adieu, Madam Melancholy.
I will speak to him like a saucy lackey, and under that habit, play the knave with him. Do you hear, Forester?
Very well. What would you?
I pray you, what is it o'clock?
You should ask me what time of day. There's no clock in the forest.
Then there is no true lover in the forest, else sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time as well as a clock.
And why not the swift foot of time? Had that not been as proper?
By no means, sir. Time travels in divers paces with divers persons.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
With this shepherdess, my sister, here in the skirts of the forest, like fringe upon a petticoat.
Are you native of this place?
As the coney that you see dwell where she is kindled.
Your accent is something finer you could purchase in so removed a dwelling.
I have been told so of many, but indeed, an old religious uncle of mine taught me to speak, who was, in his youth, an inland man, one who knew courtship too well, for there he fell in love. Ugh, I have heard him read many lectures against it, and I thank God I am not a woman. To be touched with so many giddy offenses, as he hath generally taxed their whole sex withal.
Can you remember any of the principal evils he laid to the charge of women?
There were none principal. They were all like one another as halfpence are. Every one fault seeming monstrous till his fellow faults came to match it.
I prithee, recount some of them.
No, I will not cast away my physic, but on those that are sick. There is a man haunts the forest that abuses our young plants with carving Rosalind on their barks, hangs odes upon hawthorns and elegies on brambles, all forsooth deifying the name of Rosalind. If I could meet that fancy monger, I would give him some good counsel, for he seems to have the quotidian of love upon him.
I am he that is so love-shaped. I pray you, tell me your remedy.
There is none of my uncle's marks upon you. He taught me how to know a man in love.
What were his marks?
A lean cheek, which you have not, a blue eye and sunken, which you have not, an unquestionable spirit, which you have not, a beard neglected, which you have not. Then your hose should be ungartered, your bonnet unbanded, your sleeve unbuttoned, your shoe untied, and everything about you demonstrating a careless desolation. But you are no such man. You are rather point device in your accoutrements as loving yourself than seeming the lover of any other.
Fair youth, I would I could make me believe I love.
Me believe it. You may as soon make her that you love believe it. But in good sooth, are you he that hangs the verses on the trees wherein Rosalind is so admired?
By the white hand of Rosalind, I swear to thee, youth, I am that he, that unfortunate he.
But are you so much in love as your rhymes speak?
Neither rhyme nor reason can express how much.
Love is merely a madness, and I tell you, deserves as much a dark house and a whip as madmen do. And the reason why they are not so punished and cured is that the lunacy is so ordinary that the whippers are in love too. Yet I profess curing it by counsel.
Did you ever cure any so?
Yes! One, and in this manner. He was to imagine me his love, his mistress, and I set him every day to woo me, at which time would I, being but a moonish youth, grieve, be effeminate, changeable, longing and liking, proud, fantastical, apish, shallow, inconstant, full of tears, full of smiles, for every passion something, and for no passion truly anything, as boys and women are for the most part cattle of this color, would now like him, now loathe him, then entertain him, then forswear him, now weep for him, then spit at him, that I drave my suitor from his mad humor of love to a living humor of madness, which was to forswear the full stream of the world and to live in a nook merely monastic. And thus I cured him. And this way will I take upon me to wash your liver as clean as a sound sheep's heart, that there shall not be one spot of love in it.
I would not be cured, youth.
I would cure you, if you would but call me Rosalind and come every day to my cote and woo me.
Now, by the faith of my love, I will. I pray thee, tell me where it is.
Go with me to it, and I'll show it you, and by the way, you shall tell me where in the forest you live. Will you go?
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind. Come, sister, will you go?
Come apace, good Audrey. I will fetch up your goats, Audrey. And how, Audrey? Am I the man yet? Doth my simple features content you?
Your features! Lord warrant us! What features!
I am here with thee and thy goats, as the most capricious poet, honest Ovid, was among the Goths.
Do you wish then that the gods had made me poetical?
I do truly, for thou swearest to me thou art honest. Now, if thou wert a poet, I would have some hope thou didst feign.
Would you not have me honest?
No, truly, unless thou wert hard favored, for honesty coupled to beauty were to have honey a sauce to sugar.
Well, I am not fair, and therefore I pray the gods make me honest.
Truly, and to cast away honesty upon a foul slut were to put good meat on an unclean dish.
I am not a slut! Though I thank the gods I am foul.
Well, praise be the gods for thy foulness. Sluttishness may come hereafter. But be it as it may be, I will marry thee, and to that end I have been with Sir Oliver Martex, the vicar in the next village, who hath promised to meet us in this place of the forest and to couple us.
Well, the gods give us joy!
Amen. Here comes Sir Oliver Martex. You are well met. Will you dispatch us here under this tree, or shall we go with you to your chapel?
Is there none here to give the woman?
I will not take her on gift of any man.
Truly, she must be given, or the marriage is not lawful.
Proceed. Proceed. I'll give her.
Good even, good mistress, what ye call it. I am very glad to see you.
Will you be married, Motley?
As the ox hath his bow, sir, the horse his curb, and the falcon her bell, so man hath his desires. And as the pigeon's bill, so wedlock would be nibbling.
And will you, being a man of your breeding, be married under a bush, like a beggar? Get you to church. Have a good priest that can tell you what marriage is. This fellow will but join you together as they join wainscot. Then one of you will prove shrunk panel, and like green timber, war.
I am not in the mind, but I were better to be married of him than of another, for he is not like to marry me well, and being not well married, it will give me a good excuse hereafter to, leave my wife.
Come now with me, and let me counsel thee.
Come, sweet Audrey, we must be married, or we must live in Baudry.
Never talk to me. I will weep.
Do I prithee? Yet have the grace to consider that tears do not become a man.
But have I not cause to weep?
That's good cause, it's one would desire. Therefore, weep.
But why did he swear he would come this morning and comes not?
Nay, certainly. There is no truth in him.
Do you think so?
Yes. I think he is not a pick person or a horse stealer, but for his verity and love, I do think him as concave as a covered goblet or a worm-eaten nut.
Not true in love?
Yes, when he's in, but I think he is not in. He attends here in the forest on the Duke your father. He writes brave verses, speaks brave words, swears brave oaths, and breaks them bravely. Who comes here?
Sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me. Do not. Say you love me not, but say not so in bitterness. The common executioner, whose heart the accustomed sight of death makes hard, falls not the axe upon the humble neck, but first begs pardon will you sterner be than he that dies and lives by bloody drops?
I would not be thy executioner. I'd fly thee, for I would not injure thee. Thou tellest me there is murder in mine eye. 'Tis pretty sure, and very probable that eyes that are the frailest and softest things who shut their coward gates on enemies should be called tyrants, butchers, murderers. Now, I do frown on thee with all my heart, and if mine eyes can wound, now let them kill me! Now, counterfeit to swoon when I fall down, or, if thou canst not, oh, for shame, lie not to say mine eyes are murderers. Now, show me the wound mine eye hath made in thee. Scratch it but with a pin, and there remains some scar of it. Lean but upon a rush, and the cicatrice incapable in pressure thy palm some moment keeps. But now mine eyes, which I have darted at thee, hurt thee not. Nor, I am sure there is no force in eyes that can do hurt.
Oh, dear Phoebe, if ever, as that ever may be near you meet in some fresh cheat, then shall you know the power of fancy that love's keen arrows make.
Yeah, but till that time, come not near me. Pity me not, as till that time I shall not pity thee.
And why, I pray you? Who might be your mother that you insult, exalt, and all at once over the wretched? What, though you have no beauty, as by my faith I see no more in you than without candle may go dark to bed, must you be therefore proud and pitiless? Why, what means this? Why do you look on me? I see no more in you than in the ordinary of nature's sail work. Odds my little life, I think she means to tangle my eyes too. No, faith, proud mistress, hope not after it. 'Tis not your inky brows, your black silk hair, your bugle eyeballs, nor your cheek of cream that can entain my spirits to your worship. You foolish shepherd, wherefore do you follow her, like foggy south, puffing with wind and rain? You are 1,000 times a proper man than she a woman. Oh, 'tis such fools as you that make the world full of ill-favored children. 'Tis not her glass, but you that flatters her, and out of you she sees herself more proper than any of her lineaments can show her. But mistress, know yourself, down on your knees, and thank heaven fasting for a good man's love. For I must tell you friendly in your ear, sell when you can, you are not for all markets. Cry the man mercy, love him, take his offer. Foul is most foul, being foul to be a scoffer. So take her to thee, shepherd. Fare you well.
Sweet youth, I pray you, chide a year together. I'd rather hear you chide than this man woo.
He's fallen in love with your foulness, and she'll fall in love with my anger. If it be so, as fast as she answers thee with frowning looks, I'll sauce her with bitter words. Why look you so upon me?
For no ill will I bear you.
I pray you, do not fall in love with me, for I am falser than vows made in wine. Besides, I like you not. Oh! Come, sister, will you go? Shepherd, ply her hard. Come, sister, shepherdess, be not proud. Though all the world can see, none could be so abused in sight as he. Come to our flock.
Oh, dead shepherd, now I find thy saw of might. Whoever loved that loved not at first sight.
Sweet Phoebe.
What sayest thou, Sylvius?
Sweet Phoebe, pity me.
Why, I am sorry for thee, gentle Sylvius.
Wherever sorrow is, relief would be. If you do sorrow at my grief and love, by giving love your sorrow and my grief were both extermined.
Thou hast my love, is not that neighborly?
I would have you.
Oh, why that were covetousness. Sylvius, the time was that I hated thee. And yet it is not that I bear thee love, but since thou canst talk of love so well, thy company, which erst was irksome to me, I will endure. And I'll employ thee too. Knowest thou the youth that spoke to me erewhile?
Not very well, but I have met him oft, and he had bought the old house and bounds that old Carlet once was master of.
Think not I love him, though I ask for him. 'Tis a peevish boy, yet he talks well. But what care I for words? Yet words do well when he that speaks them pleases those that hear. It is a pretty youth, not very pretty, but sure he's proud, and yet his pride becomes him. He'll make a proper man. The best thing in him is his complexion, and faster than his tongue did make offense, his eye did heal it up. He is not very tall, yet for his years he's tall. His leg is but so, and yet 'tis well. There was a pretty redness in his lip, a little riper and more lusty red than that mixed in his cheek. 'Twas just the difference between the constant red and mingled damask. There be some women, Sylvius, had they marked him in parcels as I did, would have gone near to fall in love with him. But for my part, I love him not, nor hate him not. And yet I have more cause to hate him than to love him. For what did he do to chide at me? He said mine eyes were black and my hair black, and now I remembered scorn at me. I marveled why I'd answered not yet again. But that's all one. Omittance is no quittance. I shall write to him a very taunting letter, and thou shalt bear it. Wilt thou, Sylvius?
Phoebe, with all my heart.
I'll write it straight. Go with me, Sylvius.
Orlando who? Pretty youth. Let me be better acquainted with thee.
They say you are a melancholy person.
I am so. I do love it better than laughing.
Those that are in extremity of either are abominable fellows and betray themselves to every modern censure worse than drunkards.
Why, 'tis good to be sad and say nothing.
Why, then 'tis good to be a post.
I have neither the scholar's melancholy, which is emulation, nor the musician's, which is fantastical, nor the courtier's, which is proud, nor the soldier's, which is ambitious, nor the lawyer's, which is politic, nor the lady's, which is nice, nor the lover's, which is all these. But it is a melancholy of mine own, compounded of many simples, extracted from many objects, and indeed the sundry's contemplation of my travels, in which my often rumination wraps me in a most humorous sadness.
A traveler. By my faith, you have great reason to be sad. I fear you have sold your own lands to see that of other men's. Then to have seen much and to have nothing, then to have seen much and to have nothing is to have rich eyes and poor hands.
Yes, I have gained my experience.
And your experience makes you sad. I'd rather have a fool to make me merry than experience to make me sad, and to travel for it too.
Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind.
Nay, God be with you. And you talk in blank verse.
Farewell, Madam Traveler. Why, how now, Orlando? Where have you been all this while? You, a lover. And you serve me such another trick, never come in my sight more.
My fair Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Break an hour's promise in love? He that will divide a minute into 1,000 parts and break but a part of the 1,000th part of a minute in the affairs of love. It may be said of him that Cupid hath clapped him on the shoulder, but I'll warrant him heart whole.
Pardon me, dear Rosalind.
Nay, and you be so tardy, come no more in my sight. I had as lief be wooed of a snail.
Of a snail?
Aye, of a snail. For though he comes slowly, he carries his house on his head. A better jointure, I think, than you make a woman. Besides, he brings his destiny with him.
What's that?
Why, horns, which such as you are fain to be beholding to your wives for. But he comes armed in his fortune and prevents the slander of his wife.
Virtue is no horn maker, and my Rosalind is virtuous.
And I am your Rosalind.
It pleases him to call you so, but he hath a Rosalind of a better leer than you.
Come, woo me. Woo me! For now I'm in a holiday humor and like enough to consent. What would you say to me now, and I were your very, very Rosalind?
I would kiss before I spoke.
Nay, you were better speak first, and when you were gravelled for lack of matter, you might take occasion to kiss.
How if the kiss be denied?
Then she puts you to entreaty, and there begins new matter. Am I not your Rosalind?
I take some joy to say you are, because I will be talking of her.
Well, in her person, I say, I will not have you.
Then mine own person, I die!
No! Faith, die by attorney. The poor world is almost 6,000 years old, and in all this time, there was not any man who died in his own person in a love cause. Men have died from time to time, and worms have eaten them, but not for love.
I would not have my right Rosalind of this mind, for I protest her frown might kill me.
By this hand, it will not kill a fly. But come, now I will be your Rosalind in a more coming-on disposition, and ask me what you will. I will grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind.
Yes, faith will I, Fridays and Saturdays and all.
And wilt thou have me?
Aye, and 20 such.
What sayest thou?
Are you not good?
I hope so.
Why then can one desire too much of a good thing? Come, sister, you shall be the priest and marry us. Give me your hand, Orlando. What do you say, sister?
Pray thee, marry us.
I cannot say the words.
You must begin, will you, Orlando?
Go to. Will you, Orlando, have to wife this Rosalind?
I will.
Aye, but when?
Why now, as fast as she can marry us?
Then you must say, I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I might ask you for your commission, but I do take thee, Orlando, for my husband. There's a girl goes before the priest. It's certainly a woman's thought runs before her action.
And so do all thoughts. They are winged.
Now, tell me how long you would have her after you have possessed her.
Forever and a day.
Say a day without the ever. No, Orlando. Men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sky changes when they are wives. I will be more jealous of thee than a Barbary cock pigeon over his hen, more clamorous than a parrot against rain, more newfangled than an ape, more giddy in my desires than a monkey. I will weep for nothing, like Diana in the fountain, and I will do that when you are disposed to be married. I will laugh like a hyena and laugh when thou art inclined to sleep.
But will my Rosalind do so?
By my life, she will do as I do.
Oh, but she is wise.
Else she could not have the wits to do this. The wiser, the waywarder. Make the doors upon a woman's wit, and it will out at the casement. Shut that, and it will out at the keyhole. Stop that, 'twill fly with the smoke out of the chimney.
A man that had a wife with such a wit might say, wit, whither wilt?
Nay, you might keep that check for it till you met your wife's wit go into your neighbor's bed.
In what wit could wit have to excuse that?
Mary, to say she came to seek you there. You must never take her without her answer, unless you take her without her tongue. Oh, that woman that cannot make her fault her husband's occasion. Let her never nurse her child herself, for she will breed it like a fool.
For these 2 hours, Rosalind, I must leave thee.
Alas, dear love, I cannot lack thee 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock, I will be with thee again.
Aye, go your ways. Go your ways. I knew what you would prove. My friends told me as much, and I thought no less. That flattering tongue of yours won me. 'Tis but one cast away, and so, come, death. 2 o'clock is your hour.
Aye, sweet Rosalind.
By my troth, and in good earnest, and so God mend me, and by all pretty oaths that are not dangerous, if you break one jot of your promise, or come 1 minute behind your hour, I will think you the most pathetical break promise, and the most hollow lover, and the most unworthy of her that you call Rosalind, that may be chosen out of the gross band of the unfaithful. Therefore beware my censure and keep your promise.
With no less religion than if thou wert indeed my Rosalind. So adieu.
Well, time is the old justice that examines all such offenders, and let time try. Adieu.
You have simply misused our sex in your love print.
Oh, cuz, my pretty little cuz! That thou didst know how many fathom deep I am in love, but it cannot be sounded. My affection hath an unknown bottom like the Bay of Portugal.
Or rather, bottomless, that as fast as you pour affection in, it runs out.
I'll tell thee, Eliana, I cannot be out of sight of Orlando. I'll go find a shadow and sigh till he'll come.
And I'll sleep.
Say you now, is it not past 2 o'clock, and here much Orlando?
I warrant you, with pure love and troubled brain, you have taken his bow and arrows and has gone forth to sleep.
Oh.
Who comes here?
Oh, my errand is to you, fair youth. My gentle Phoebe bid me give you this. I know not the contents, but as I guess by the stern brow and waspish action which she did use as she was writing of it, it bears an angry tenor. Oh, pardon me, I am but as a guiltless messenger.
Patience herself would startle at this letter and play the swagger. Bear this, bear all. She says I am not fair, that I lack manners. She calls me proud, and that she could not love me were man as rare as Phoenix. Odds my will, her love is not the hare that I do hunt. Why writes she so to me? Well, shepherd, well, this is a letter of your own device.
No, I protest, I know not the contents. Phoebe did write it.
Come, come. You are a fool and turned into the extremity of love. I say she never did invent this letter. This is a man's invention and his hand.
Sure, it is hers.
Why, 'tis a boisterous and a cruel style. A style for challengers. Will you hear the letter?
If it so please you, for I have not heard it yet heard too much of Phoebe's cruelty.
She Phoebe's me. Mark how the tyrant writes. Art thou God's shepherd turned, that a maiden's heart hath burned? Can a woman rail thus?
Call you this railing?
Whiles you chid me, I did love. How then might your prayers move? He that brings this love to thee, little knows this love in me, and by him seal up thy mind, whether that thy youth and kind. Will the faithful offer take of me and all that I can make? Or else by him my love deny, and then I'll study how to die.
Call you this chiding?
Alas, poor shepherd!
Do you pity him? No, he deserves no pity. Wilt thou love such a woman? What, to make thee an instrument and play false strains upon thee? Not to be endured. Well, go your way to her, for I see love hath made thee a tame snake. And say this to her. that if she love me, I charge her to love thee. If she will not, I will never have her unless thou entreat for her. If you be a true lover, hence, and not a word, for here comes more company.
Good morrow, fair ones. Pray you, if you know, where in the purliest of this forest stands a sheepcote fenced about with olive trees?
West of this place and down in the neighbor bottom. But at this hour the house doth keep itself, there's none within.
If that and I may profit by a tongue, then should I know you by description, such garments and such years. Are not you the owner of the house I did inquire for?
It is no boast being asked to say we are.
Orlando doth commend him to you both. And to that youth he calls his Rosalind, he sends this bloody napkin. Are you he?
I am. What must we understand by this?
Some of my shame, if you will know of me what man I am, and how and why and where this handkerchief was stained.
I pray you, tell it.
When last the young Orlando parted from you, he left a promise to return within an hour, and pacing through the forest, chewing the food of sweet and bitter, fancy lo what befell. He threw his eye aside, and marked what object did present itself. Under an oak, whose boughs were mossed with age, and high-top bald with dry antiquity, a wretched, ragged man, o'ergrown with hair, lay sleeping on his back. About his neck, a green and gilded snake had wreathed itself, who with her head nimble in threats approached the opening of his mouth, but suddenly, seeing Orlando, it unlinked itself, and with indented glides did slip away into a bush, under which bush's shade a lioness with udders all drawn dry lay couching, head on ground with cat-like watch, when that the sleeping man should stir. For 'tis the royal disposition of this beast to prey on nothing that doth seem as dead. This scene, Orlando did approach the man, and found it was his brother, his elder brother.
Oh, I have heard him speak of that same brother, and he did render him the most unnatural that lived amongst men.
And well he might do so, for well I know he was unnatural.
But to Orlando, did he leave a mare food to the sucked and hungry lioness?
Twice did he turn his back in purpose so, but kindness, nobler ever than revenge, and nature, stronger than his just occasion, made him give battle to the lioness, who quickly fell before him, in which hurtling from miserable slumber I await.
Are you his brother?
Was't you he rescued?
Was't you that did so oft contrive to kill him?
'Twas I, but 'tis not I. I do not shame to tell you what I was, since my conversion so sweetly tastes being the thing I am.
But for the bloody napkin?
By, when from the first to last betwixt us two tears our recountenance had most kindly bathed, as how we came unto this desert place, in brief, he led me to the gentle Duke, who gave me fresh array and entertainment, committing me unto my brother's love, who led me instantly unto his cave, there stripped himself, and here, upon his arm the lioness had torn some flesh away, which all this while had bled, and now he fainted, and cried, in fainting, upon Rosalind. Brief, I recovered him, bound up his wounds, and after some small space, being strong at heart, he sent me hither, a stranger as I am, to tell this story, that you might excuse his broken promise, and to give this napkin dyed in his blood, unto the shepherd youth that he in sport doth call his Rosalind.
Oh, why, how now? Ganymede, sweet Ganymede.
Many will swoon when they do look on blood.
Oh, there is more in it. Cousin Ganymede.
Look, he recovers.
I would I were at home.
And we will lead you thither. Come, sir, will you take him by the arm?
Be of good cheer, youth, to you a man. You lack a man's heart.
I do so, I confess it. Sirrah! A body would think this was well counterfeited. I pray you, tell your brother how well I counterfeit. Hey ho!
This was not counterfeit. There is too great testimony in your complexion that this was a passion of earnest.
Counterfeit, I assure you.
Well then, take a good heart and counterfeit to be a man.
So I do. But if faith, I should have been a woman by right.
Come, sir, you look paler and paler. Draw you homewards. Good sir, go with with us?
That will I. For I must bear answer back how you excuse my brother, Rosalind.
I shall devise something, but I pray you commend my counterfeiting to him. Will you go?
We shall find a time, Audrey. Patience, gentle Audrey.
Faith, the priest was good enough for all the old gentlemen saying.
A most wicked Sir Oliver, Audrey, a most vile Martext. But Audrey, there is a youth in the forest lays claim to you.
Good even, Audrey.
God, good even, William.
Good even to you, sir.
Good even, gentle friend. Cover thy head, I pray thee, be covered. How old are you, friend?
5 and 20, sir.
A ripe age. Is thy name William?
Well, I am, sir.
Fair name. Wast born in the forest here?
Aye, sir, I thank God.
Thank God, a good answer. Art rich?
Faith, sir. So.
So is good. Very good. Very excellent good. And yet it is not. But it is so. Art thou wise?
Aye, sir, I have a pretty wit.
I do now remember a saying. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. The heathen philosopher, when he had a desire to eat a grape, would open up his lips when he put it into his mouth, meaning thereby that grapes are made to eat and lips to open. You do love this maid?
Aye, sir, I do.
Give me thy hand. Art thou learned?
No, sir.
Then learn this of me. To have is to have. For it is a figure in rhetoric that drink being poured out of a cup into a glass by filling one doth empty the other. For all your writers do consent that ipsi is he. Now you are not ipsi, for I am he. For I am he. For I am he.
Woo!
Which is he?
He, sir, that must marry this woman. Therefore, you clown, abandon, which in the vulgar leave, the society, which in the boorish is company of this female, which in the common is woman, which together is abandon the society of this female or clown, thou perishest. Or to thy better understanding, diest. Or to wit, I kill thee, make thee away, translate thy life into death, thy liberty to bondage. I will deal in poison with thee, or in bastinado, or in steel. I will bandy with thee in faction. I will o'errun thee with policy. I will kill thee 150 ways. Therefore tremble and depart.
Do, good William.
God rest you merry, sir.
Bye, y'all. Trip, Audrey, I attend.
If possible, that on so little acquaintance you should like her, that but seeing you should love her, and loving woo, and wooing she should grant, and will you persevere to enjoy her?
Neither call the giddiness of it in question, the poverty of her, the small acquaintance, my sudden wooing, nor her sudden consenting, but say with me, I love Eliana! Say with her that she loves me, consent with both, that we may enjoy each other. It shall be to your good. For my father's house, and all the revenue that was owed Sir Rowland's will I estate upon you, and here live and die a shepherd.
Let your wedding be tomorrow. Thither will I invite the Duke and all his contented followers. Go you and prepare Eliana. For look you, here comes my fair Rosalind.
God save you, brother.
And you, fair sister.
Oh, my dear Orlando, how it grieves me to see thee wear thy heart in a scarf.
It is my arm.
I thought thy heart had been wounded with the claws of a lion.
Wounded it is, but with the eyes of a lady.
Did your brother tell you how I counterfeited to swoon when he showed me your handkerchief?
Aye, and greater wonders than that.
Oh, I know where you are. my sister no sooner met but they looked, no sooner looked but they loved, no sooner loved but they sighed, no sooner sighed but they asked one another the reason, no sooner knew the reason but they sought the remedy. And in these degrees have they made a pair of stairs to marriage, which they will climb incontinent, or else be incontinent before marriage. They are in the very wrath of love, and they will together. Clubs cannot part them.
They shall be married tomorrow, and I will bid the Duke to the nuptial. But oh, how bitter a thing it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes. By so much the more tomorrow shall I be at the height of heart heaviness, but how much I shall think my brother happy in having what he wishes for.
Why then tomorrow I cannot serve your turn for Rosalind?
I can live no longer by thinking.
I will weary you then no longer with idle talking. Know of me then, for now I speak to some purpose. Believe then, if you please, that I can do strange things. I have, since I was 3-year-old, conversed with a magician, most profound in his art and yet not damnable. If you do love Rosalind so near to the heart as your gesture cries out, when your brother marries Eliana, shall you marry her?
Speakest thou in sober meanings?
By my life, I do. If you will be married tomorrow, you shall, and to Rosalind, if you will. Look, here comes a lover of mine and a lover of hers.
You have done me much ungentleness to show the letter I writ to you.
I care not if I have. It is my study to seem despiteful and ungentle to you. You were there followed by a faithful shepherd. Look upon him, love him. He worships you.
Good shepherd, tell this youth what 'tis to love.
It is to be all made of sighs and tears, and so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of faith and service, and so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of fantasy, all made of passion, and all made of wishes, all adoration, duty, and obedience, all humbleness, all patience and impatience, all purity, all trials, all observance. And so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
Who do you speak to? Why blame you me to love you?
To her that is not here, nor doth not hear.
Pray you! No more of this. 'Tis like the howling of Irish wolves against the moon. I will help you, if I can. I would love you, if I could. Tomorrow, meet me all together. I will marry you, if ever I marry woman, and I'll be married tomorrow. I will satisfy you, if ever I satisfied man, and you shall be married tomorrow. I will content you, if what pleases you contents you, and you shall be married tomorrow. As you love Rosalind, meet. As you love Phoebe, meet. And as I love no woman, I'll meet. So fare you well. I have left you commands.
I will not fail if I live.
Nor I.
Nor I.
Dost thou believe, Orlando, that the boy can do all this that he hath promised?
I sometimes believe and sometimes do not, as those that know they fear and fear they hope.
I have promised to make all this matter even. Keep you your word, O Duke, to give your daughter. You yours, Orlando, to receive his daughter. Keep your word, Phoebe, that you'll marry me, or else refusing me to wed this shepherd. Keep your word, Silvius, that you'll marry her if she refuse me. And from hence I go to make these doubts all even.
Well, I do remember in the shepherd boy some lively touches of my daughter's favor.
My lord, the first time I ever saw him, he thought he was a brother to your daughter. But my good lord, this boy is forest born, and hath been tutored of many rudiments of many desperate studies by his uncle, whom he reports to be a great magician, obscured in the circle of this forest.
Salutation and greeting to you all.
Good, my lord, bid him welcome. This is the motley-minded gentleman I have so often met in the forest. He hath been a courtier, he swears.
If any man doubt that, let him put me to my purgation. Bury your body more seeming, Audrey.
Then is there mirth in heaven, when earthly things may even atone together.
Good Duke, receive thy daughter. Hymen from heaven brought her, yea, brought her hither, that thou mightst join her hand with his, whose heart within his bosom is.
To you I give myself, for I am yours. To you I give myself, for I am yours.
If there be truth in sight, you are my daughter.
If there be truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
If sight and shape be true, why then, my love, adieu.
I'll have no father, if you be not he. I'll have no husband, if you be not he. Nor ne'er wed woman, if you be not she. You and I, no cross shall part. You and you are heart and heart. You to his love must accord, or else a woman to your lord. Whiles a wedlock hymn we sing, feed yourselves with questioning, that reason wonder may diminish, how thus we met, and these things finish.
Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so.
Dear niece, welcome thou art to me. Even daughter, welcome in no less degree.
I will not eat my word. Now thou art mine. Thy faith my fancy to thee doth combine.
And I always will. And I always.
Let me have audience for a word or two.
I am the second son of old Sir Roland that bring these tidings to this fair assembly. Duke Frederick, hearing how that every other day men of great worth resorted to this forest, addressed a mighty power, which were on foot, in his own conduct, purposely to take his brother here and put him to the sword. And to the skirts of this wild wood he came, where, meeting with an old religious man, after some question with him, he was converted. Not just from his enterprise, but from the world, his crown bequeathing to his banished brother, and all their lands restored to them again, that were with him exiled. This to be true, I do engage my life.
Welcome, young man. Thou offerest fairly to thy brother's wedding. To one his lands withheld, the other a land at large itself a potent dukedom. First in this forest that is to those ends that were well begun and well begot. And after, every of this happy number that hath endured shrewd days and nights with us shall share the good of our returned fortune according to the measure of their states. Meantime, let us forget this new fallen dignity and fall into rustic revelry. Play music and you, brides and bridegrooms all, with measures heaped in joy too, the measures fall.
Sir, bide your patience. If I heard you rightly, the Duke hath put on a religious life and thrown into neglect the pompous court?
He hath.
To him will I. Out of these convertites, there's much matter to be heard and learned. You to your former honor I bequeath. Your patience and your virtue well deserves it. You to a love that your true faith doth merit. You to your land and love and great allies. You to a long and well-deserved bed. And you to wrangling, for thy loving voyage is but for 2 months victual.
Stay, Jaques. Stay.
Nay, to your pleasures. I am for other than for dancing measures.
Proceed. Proceed. Let us begin these rites, as we trust they'll end in true delights.
It is not the fashion to see the lady the epilogue, but it is no more unhandsome than to see the lord the prologue. If it be true that good wine needs no bush, 'tis true that a good play needs no epilogue. Yet to good wine they do use good bushes, and good plays proved better by the help of a good epilogue.
Yeah.
What a case am I in then, that am neither a good epilogue, nor can insinuate with you on the behalf of a good play. I am not furnished like a beggar, therefore to beg will not become me. My way is to conjure you, and I'll begin with the women. I charge you, women, for the love you bear to men, to like as much of this play as it may please you. And I charge you, men, for the love you bear to women, that between you and the women the play may please. If I were a woman, I would kiss as many of you as had beards that pleased me, complexions that liked me, and breaths that I defied not. And, I am sure, as many as have good beards, or good faces, or sweet breaths will, for my kind offer, when I make curtsy, bid us farewell.
And all they said was 6 8